and they fucking put it on the Denver Broncos, who might be dead for the next 5 to 10 years. Honestly, that is an interesting situation. I read a tweet about the Denver Broncos. I think they only have to pay Russell Wilson another $101 million or something like that, and then there's a $30 million cap hit after that.
Oh, that's easy.
Say let's ride to me one more fucking time.
You think that's what he said? What was his name? Purcell? 98 for the Broncos. Coming off the field after getting a field goal or a stop or something, sees Russell Wilson chit-chatting with Nathaniel Hackett, game planning, obviously, which has gone very well for them all season. And then he just lets, or maybe not Nathaniel Hackett, that's somebody else. And Russell Wilson had a press conference after this interaction, after the game, to talk about this particular interaction. And this is what he had to say about it. As the internet was saying that Purcell told him, I'm fucking sick of the bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck you do
suck.
something. Because his stats, Carson Wentz, and this has been noted by a lot of people on the internet, so I don't know who to give proper credit to. Just know that it was Twitter that did this, which is still going.
Yep, still alive.
Still alive.
Go. Keep going, Elon.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's nuts.
Twitter told me that Carson Wentz has 2 more touchdowns thrown than Russell Wilson has, and he hasn't played since week 6. We just got done with week 12.
Yikes.
This is what Russell Wilson said about the interaction with Purcell, number 98 for the Broncos, as he was running off the field, and Russell Wilson seemingly coming on the field to not create any points probably for the 100th time this season. Russell Wilson said this is what Purcell told him.
You know, he came off, after I think they kicked the field goal, and he was pissed off. He just said, we gotta F and go, and I agree, So me and him on the same page.
Same page.
There's no animosity there at all. We're on the same page. We got to win. We got to come out here and have some grit to us, some mentality to us. We got to be able to win these these football games, and so those guys are out there battling every play. On offense, we got to be able to capitalize, and so there's nothing there at all. I mean, me and him, there was no nothing there.
So seemingly nothing there, which I can respect. And maybe that is what Purcell says, and maybe he's a great leader and says that to a lot of people. But anything that happens to Russell Wilson in 2022, we are certainly going to talk about, mostly because he sounds like a big fugazi and the team stinks.
Yeah, that's right.
And he got $100 and some million before he even took a snap for this new team, and the team stinks. The team isn't fun to watch. All the magic that we thought we were going to get from Russell Wilson in Denver, a team that allegedly would have won a Super Bowl if they were able to get a good quarterback in there. They go all in. They get Russell Wilson. Now they're sending like a top 5 pick to Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle's balling. They lose to the Raiders because Josh Jacobs has the biggest day of all time. But they have like a top 5 pick from the Broncos. They don't have Russell Wilson or Team 3 in their building anymore. Seattle Seahawks seem to be a bunch of fucking heroes here. But Purcell says, listen, I'm a leader on the D. I'm a leader on the team. This guy's not holding up his end of the bargain. Let's go. I like that from a team, and I like the way Russell Wilson obviously spun at the end. We're on the same. I think so too. Hey, I'm trying to get it all there. Purcell said he's just trying to spark. That's at least a little bit of hope, but that defense has certainly thought they were getting something much different than what Russell Wilson has brought.
Yeah, I doubt they expected to, send off their best pass rusher like we mentioned with Chubb. But this answers all of our questions about why, no one on the Denver team has kind of spoken out when all these former Seahawks players have talked about how Russell Wilson was as a teammate, right? Like, does that confirm everything that's been said by Richard Sherman and the other players, Marshawn, about how you couldn't really reach out to him and everything?
I think Purcell was comfortable enough to say it to him, right?
Yeah, true.
So you could take that either way. I don't know because I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I have people in that building that I could reach out to and get the story to, but I don't want to put them in a compromising position either. I just assume all this information will come out at some point and we'll cover it as is. It is not going well there. We were just talking about Russell Wilson and Purcell yelling at each other, or Purcell telling them, like, hey, figure it out. There's no way that ends after this year, right? What are they going to do? They're going to have to figure that out. That team is abysmal, and there's no way the richest owner in sports, Mr. Bob Walton there, bought that team, paid Russell Wilson to watch that team do the way they do. How are they going to figure that out, you think, and what does the future look like over there?
I mean, there's no sugarcoating anything that's happened in Denver this year. Like, they made a bunch of decisions before the year, decisions they thought were really good, hired a bright young coach in Nathaniel Hackett. They traded for a quarterback that a lot of other people wanted to trade for. I mean, there were several teams, including the Washington Commanders, we've talked about this before, that wanted to trade for Russell Wilson. He wanted to go to Denver. He ends up in Denver. A big coup. And it's all bad. Everything is bad. The contract is bad. Literally, I mean, it's great for Russell Wilson, but it's bad for literally everyone else. let's just assume that the Penner family, Walton Penner family, has a decision to make at the end of the year for Nathaniel Hackett. If they decide to move on, which certainly is conceivable, it seems like they would get a coach who would make Russell Wilson really good again. Like, he's not going anywhere. It would be mind-boggling to think they would move on from him because the cap hit would be so astronomical. You could do it, but it would set your team back significantly. So I would imagine it would be a coach who says, you know what, I can make this guy work. I'm not going to say make Russell Wilson great again, but let's just say I said that, something in that line.
Oh, patent it. You should patent that.
Yeah, you
should patent it. Put that on the Insiders. Put it on the Fast Network. Maybe make some shirts.
Actually. But I think that's going to be the focus of the offseason.
Okay, and obviously everybody's going to say they can make Russell Wilson great again. I'll be excited to see who can actually pull that off because he looks like a very different player. Looks like he has no idea what's going on. He seems like we watch D-Butt talk about it. We watch Chuck talk about it. We watch AQ talk about it. It's all dysfunctional. And we're after week 12 already, and this is still happening. We assume there'll be growing pains, which was talked about early in the season. I think mostly by Herbie and Al Michaels when they played the Colts on Thursday night about how all words out of the Broncos like, hey, there's some growing pains. We'll get through it. And I assume that's exactly what they thought it was at the time. But now it's like dysfunction. Now it just seems like it's broken. Who knows if they can fix it? And is Russ liked over there? Do you know?
I mean, I think when things are going bad, it's always tense. So, like, I don't think anyone's happy with anyone right now, But look, Russ is. If you needed to know what teammates think of him, all you need to do is go to Seattle. I'm not saying it's universal, but there are plenty of people that decided this guy is just not for me, and a lot of them have spoken out way more than I can ever remember ex-teammates speaking out about anything. Like, of all the stuff, of all the material that we have from the Richard Shermans of the world or the, so many of the ex-Legion of Boom guys, like, they've all spoken their mind about Russell Wilson in a way that no one else speaks their mind about their former teammate. I mean, think about this. When Denver went back to Seattle, it was the opener, right? Yeah. It was the opener. They invited all the veterans on the defense just to come watch. Like, I don't think they were there to cheer for Russell Wilson. I'm just going on a limb. I don't think that.
And Pete after the game
said,
not
not for everyone.
And Pete said after the game, that was for everybody that was here because they know what it is. And I'm like, damn.
Okay.
Yeah, Pete normally doesn't mix words at all. I was like, all right, this is for everybody that was here and knows what it was like. What's that?
But when you're good enough, it doesn't matter.
When you win.
Right? Like, you can be, when you win, it doesn't matter. And when you play well enough yourself, you can sort of be whatever you want. Like, a quarterback is a leader, unless he's losing, in which case he's just a jerk yelling at everyone. Like, there's some of that going on as well.
Yeah, but if you're yelling at everybody, there's probably a reason. You're probably holding people accountable, and it's working. You can at any position.
Well, that's true.
At any position, let alone quarterback in the NFL. I'm talking about any business, any genre. The person that's in charge can do as much barking if it works. But then people are going to get, if it's not working, it's like, hey, I think we need
See ya.
maybe a new voice in here. That's just natural human instinct. I don't know what's going on in Denver, but hopefully they'll be able to figure it out.
Bad.